So, Ahmed Imam, I would like to know your perspective on mathematical patterns in the Quran. What do you have to say about that? Like, how is that humanly possible? Shukran, Ahmed Imam. What a name, huh? Ahmed Imam. Mathematical patterns in the Quran. I think it truly is, um, it's amazing seeing these patterns. It really feels just it adds to the wonder of the Quran. And I, I I remember seeing a few and where people will say things like how um, verses that begin with certain how there is an equal number of day mentioned that is paralleled with an equal number of night in the Quran, how Allah will mention this. There's a mathematical, like a rhythm to so many salient features within the Quran that it just seems just incomprehensible to have put that together with such design. I mean, if somebody did, it would be, whoa, that is a genius in and of itself. That's how amazing some of these seem. And I remember going through some a while back, and you could just go onto YouTube. In fact, there was a video by Noman Ali Khan as well once where he was speaking. It's an old video. What did he call it? I think he called them ring patterns in certain surahs or ring surahs or something. And what he meant by that was that certain verses, certain surahs begin with let's say the first verse is speaking about God's glory, then the last verse speaks about God's glory, second verse, let's say, speaks about believers, the last verse speaks about disbelievers, the third verse, let's say, speaks about the day, then the third to last speaks about the night, as an example. I'm just saying. So he says the themes, they kind of mirror each other, and that's so spectacular. He's going, I can't recall which which surah he's going through now. I heard it a very long time ago, but I think it, unless it was Surah Mulk, or was it, but I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. So these things are definitely just, jaw-dropping and mesmerizing, but I think these things add wonder to our faith in God and to the Quran. I don't think these things are the proof for the existence of God. Because then you see the problem then, because I've heard people say in the past that, this is a proof that there is a God, because otherwise, this is humanly impossible. I just feel that the problem with such huge claims, because when you say that, then people, they will start, like, they'll say, well, this book has this in it and it has this in it. And I've heard all these things about, certain other books. So, this kind of rhythmic melody that is found in certain books, and certain patterns and mathematical anomalies spring out. And so does it make every book that does something like that proof for a particular god? Or so I just feel these claims are not, we shouldn't go about using them as this is the proof for the existence of God, but we should allow ourselves to revel in these, and marvel in the wonder of the Quran. So it basically, it adds flavor, it helps, it kind of sprinkles wonder on our faith and brings us to life. That's what they should be used for, not to say, well, let me argue against an atheist that, did you know the letter Qaf appears the most number of times in Surah Qaf? I mean, the person would just go like, and what? So I don't think, that's my perspective. Yeah, because also just adding to that, there is the concept of patternicity in psychology, that you see human beings, we see patterns, especially if we put our mind to something. And just as we, if you stare at clouds, you will see faces in them and you'll see shapes, and all of a sudden you can see things. And that's a human um, a tendency to see patterns and project familiarity onto such abstractions like the clouds and things like, or even if you are looking for seeking patterns, you can often find patterns. So just keeping that in mind. Yeah.